Hi there. I'm multidimensional seer and communicator Susie Miller, and I use my skill sets to support people to understand and integrate their life experiences. So, I'd like to have a conversation with you today about the energy that I'm seeing for October. So, every Monday, every week, we take a really close look at the energetics for that particular week. And we're diving pretty deeply into what is going on energetically and also how we can reorganize or how we can integrate that information so that it empowers us versus kind of create some kind of fear, concern, worry. So, what I was noticing last week that I found really interesting is during this first week in October, we are really getting the opportunity to take a deep dive into some of the different layers of our patterning. We're constantly getting this opportunity, but for some reason, the very first week of October is kind of having us move through a variety of layers of our being. And in other times when it's been very challenging to maybe move through those layers or to feel what's coming up or to be present to those feelings, it just seems to happen that the first week in October gives us this opportunity to move through those various layers of our being. It's almost as if something is driving us back to our core. It's pulling us back to the core of who we actually are. So what's going to happen in this first week is there's going to be all kinds of emotional energy coming up. There might be kinds of physical symptomology that shows up as part of that emotional energy. And what I'd really like to highly suggest is that we not get wrapped up in what that information is that's arising and or where it came from. To the degree that we can leave the story out of it, we'll be much better off. One of the things that I think is really important, however, though, is as that information starts to arise, whether it be a physical body sensation, an emotion, a repetitive thought, anything like that that's showing up as we're moving down through those layers of our being, that information really is helped by being met. So what does it mean to be met? It means that every time that emotion arises, that we're actually able to be present to it. I like to sometimes kind of personify that energy. Maybe I'm feeling a wave of anger, I'm feeling a wave of sadness, and I don't even know where it's coming from. So a lot of times I'll just ask, who's sad? What aspect of me is sad? Or what age is the sadness? How old is that aspect that is sad? And as soon as I get that information, then I know how to talk to that aspect of myself. Then I know how to address or meet that need within myself. And as I do, what ends up happening is that energy just starts to dissipate. So the sadness starts to dissipate because it's been met, it's been heard, it's been valued. The anger or whatever other emotion might be coming up can really start to subside, which is really beautiful. And we're going to need that skill set in this first week of October, and probably actually between now and November as the whole month of October. If we'll use this time to be present to all those different emotions and energies, we'll come out of this in next few months, especially with this capacity to create anew, this capacity to not just think that we can create anew, but to know within the core of our being that we can create anew. This energy in the first week of October also seems to be, like I was saying, driving us right down into the core of our being. Everything is going to be asking us, what do we believe? What don't we believe? What is true for us? What is real? What is the core essence of our presence here on this planet at this time. And so there's this energy of like being pulled down into these various layers of our being. So I'd also highly suggest that we not move into fear around that feeling of being pulled into deeper parts of ourselves, deeper emotions, deeper experiences, deeper realizations and realities. If we can stay out of fear of that, what ends up happening is we naturally and organically slip into the core of our being. And as we slip into the core of our being, we hold a frequency, we hold a presence that is very stabilizing. And I can't think of anything more that would be desired and or required on the planet right now than this presence, this stabilizing presence. So as we're asking ourselves, what we can do to contribute to collective human experience right now, or what we can do to contribute to helping ourselves feel more balanced and whole as we move through these kinds of experiences, I can't think of anything better than allowing ourselves to be drawn down into this core of our being. So we can do that in a variety of different ways. One of those ways is we can just sit in the core of our being. We can just give ourselves time every day to just sit with where we are solid in our presence, sit where we are completely here. That gives us the opportunity to really feel into what that feels like. Another option that I already mentioned was this option of being present to all the different feelings and experiences that start to arise. So we know when those experiences, internal experiences, those feelings, no matter what those feelings are, we know when they are met, then we naturally and organically feel more stable. We feel more trusting of our capacity to navigate an experience when we're first and foremost meeting those internal experiences. We'll naturally take an action once those internal experiences have been met. But if we don't meet that part first, we have a tendency to be reactive instead of responsive. And I'm not sure that the world needs any more reactive energy at this point. I hope that's helpful, and I will probably be back in touch in next week even so that we can start stepping through these last 3 months of 2020. Thanks for listening.